Hi everybody, Nick McDonald here. Welcome to the ICE commentary update for the Russell 2000 and equity markets. This is our last commentary of 2011 and we'll be back on January the 8th. So I really hope that you've enjoyed listening to us in 2011 and we look forward to working with you again in 2012, and I hope that you're enjoying these commentaries. Any feedback you've got on how we've done this year, we'd love to hear from you and see if there's any ways that we can improve this commentary going forward. Now, looking here at the Russell chart, I also encourage you, even if you just watch the equity markets video, go and just watch the currency market video, because you'll see an example of where we've got some more direction, some obvious direction, and the market's kind of giving us a momentum that we need to see for that bit more clarity. Compare that to the equity markets, and looking at the Russell here, we still don't have clear direction. So we have little glimpses of it, and then it fails. So even last week, we had this little glimpse where if we could break up through this bullish candle and up through 750, we just had a nice run up, and we should have been getting up. And okay, we had some resistance up in the way here, but it looked like we should be getting up and at least testing that resistance. But actually we came down. We had support down here at 715, which we've now come through. We've come back up. We're looking like potentially we're about to reject. Now we could say, okay, if this rejects here and we break down through Friday's candle, then it looks like going lower. The problem is I haven't got 700 marked in on that daily chart, but have a look at 700 here on the weekly chart, and 700 is a major level. So 700, now the question is, are we likely to reject 715 and break down, and then we've only got a very small run to 700? What's likely to happen next? Or have we already bounced off 700? Are we likely to be coming up and testing 750? Let's look at both scenarios, and then I'll let you know which direction I think is the most probable. Firstly, let's just have a look at the monthly chart, recap what's going on here. We're still stuck inside the ranges of the previous months. So here we had got the October candle, was a very big bullish candle. November was bullish, but engulfed by October. Now we're into December. It's still only partway through the month, but we're still engulfed by the previous month. We really need to see a break up through these highs, and we've really formed them up at 750. So 750 proves to be very key. We need to get up, and that will form, breaks up through the highs of these candles. It'll be looking much more bullish if we run up above 850. My longer term view, I'm not expecting that to happen this month now. Of course, it's very late in the month. There's only a few days until Christmas Eve, so we will be longer term and moving into 2012. That's my expectation, that we will get up through here and we'll break higher. So it's bullish, but only if we can break those candles. At the moment, it's still directionless. There's no really clear direction in the shorter term based on the monthly chart. However, longer term momentum is clearly up. Coming and looking at this at the weekly chart, we've got our resistance levels, which have been here a long time, 600 and 650 on the downside. We've got 700 just around where the market price is now. We've got above that is around about 763. We've got this resistance up here. On a more micro scale, on lower time frames, we know we've got 750 as well, forming resistance. So, and we've also got 715. So we've got kind of a lot of resistance in and around the current level and up to this resistance level. But the main thing I want to point out is that in the longer term here, we are making still lower highs. So we've got consecutive lower highs from here, down to here, down to here. But we're also making higher lows. That's a sign of no clear direction. So an uptrend makes higher highs and higher lows. Well, we put in these higher highs from here, which start to look really positive, but then now we've made a lower high. So now we've got higher lows here, we've got lower highs here. It's still no clear direction. Now, of course, this can happen mid-trend, and we can have these little points of indecision before we go on and find some direction again. So we need to see that direction. But what we do have is a move down and just this little bounce off 700. So we came down, made a low at 7. We've just bounced up and closed the week around about 718. So that's somewhat promising in terms of we have found some support there, proven some support at 700 once again. But we don't have the clear direction. Let's have a look at it on a daily chart and think what can happen here. Two scenarios. One is we break down through 715 here now, through Friday's candle. We come down and we've got some support at 700. If this happens, if we break there, I'll think we're bearish, but I need to see it break 7. If we break 7, then next stop 650. Simple as that. If that happens, now I'm not saying I think that will happen. I'm saying if the first step is to break down through Friday's candle, next step is to break support at 700. If we do that, I do think we'll go to 650, and we'll go there reasonably quickly, probably like we have on previous moves, up from 650 to 7 and down from 7 to 650. Might not get there precisely like this move didn't, but over 4 or 5 days we had a good run down, pretty close to it before rallying, pretty good run back up. So if we can break 7, I do think we'll be moving down towards 650. On the other hand, though, and looking at probability, as long as we're above 7, I need to look at this in terms of probability. As long as we're above 7 and also we're above 715, I think the probability is more like a run up to this 750 level. So probability wise, this is range bound strategy, and that's why I encourage you to go and look at the currency market update, because there we've got more of a trending market. Whereas here we've got a range-bound market. In range-bound, I've become much more focused on support and resistance levels. In a trending market, I can take not just support and resistance, but I can also add trend to it. So if we combine the trend with support and resistance, so we've got market momentum, but we're trading at support and resistance levels, we have such higher probability trading. Here we don't have any real trend direction, so we're focusing on support and resistance levels. We have bounced off 7. We're holding above 715 right now. As long as we're above that, I think we should be coming up and testing 750. Beyond that, if we can get up and test 765 up around this region, I think anything like that, if that happened this week, any moves up around that level this week would be a very, very positive sign and a very bullish indication for moving into next year. That's my preferred direction at the moment. I'm only looking for a short run this week, but I do think from around about 718 where we are up to 750 is on the cards. Anything beyond 750 up to 765, extremely bullish. If that doesn't happen, however, well, I'm looking for this move down to 7. Even if we just move down to 7, I'd still be looking for a bounce off 7, because as long as we're above support, like I said, trading's about probabilities. If we're above support, we'll be looking for a bounce off it. However, a breakdown through it will definitely be looking like a move to 650, and then I'd certainly be looking for any pullbacks. Let's say we had a breakdown through 7, maybe potentially trading a break, depending on if price consolidated there before breaking down, but even more likely looking for a move down below 7, a pullback into 7, and then trying to catch the run down towards 650. So a few different scenarios there of what could happen. Probability just edging slightly towards the upside, mainly based on monthly trend, based on it being December, based on the lead up to Christmas. A little bit of a rally often occurs, but really largely just based on simple support and resistance, technical analysis. We're holding above a key level. We've just bounced off a key level right here on Thursday and Wednesday. So Wednesday we bounced off it, Thursday we tried to go below it, bounced off it again. We've held those levels, and I'm just looking at this and saying therefore, as long as we've got this little bit of upward momentum we've got, we're more likely to come up and test resistance than we are to be retesting support. Hope that helps everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed our updates for 2011, and really appreciate your listening, and look forward to working with you again in 2012, and hope that you'll stick with us for another 12 months worth of updates moving into next year, and that we can assist your trading even further. Happy trading all. Have a fantastic Christmas. Have a really great New Year's. I hope that you can all enjoy a little bit of a break and come back refreshed and ready for big trading in 2012. Our next update is on Sunday the 8th of January, and we look forward to speaking to you then.